Welcome to the today class. Today we are going to discuss about the DC machine construction. So already we defined the DC machine. The DC machine is electrical machine which converts the electrical power to the mechanical power, vice versa. Suppose if you are giving the mechanical power, it will be converted into the electrical power also. It is a general term that we can use for the DC generator as well as a DC motor. Now we are going to see what is the construction of this machine. So basically, see now next introduction to the DC machines. See, the first unit is nothing but introduction to the DC machines. See, here we are going to discuss about the DC generator, construction and principal operation, EMF equation, the classifications of DC machines, OCC and external characteristics of a DC shunt generator, armature reaction and commutation. These are the important topics what we are going to discuss in the first unit under the DC generator. Next, DC motor also there in the same unit, principle of operation, torque equation and the significance of the back EMF in a DC motor. The objective of this unit is the end of this course, student will be able to analyze the principal operation of DC machine and calculate the critical resistance as well as the critical speed of a DC shunt generator. Construction. Now we are going to see what is the construction of a DC machine. See here, not only the DC machine, in any machine there are two parts are there. One is stator, another one is rotor. Stator is nothing but the part which is stationary. The rotor is nothing but the part which is rotating in a nature. The part which is rotating in a nature. See here, for any machine, it requires two things. One is the flux, another one is the conductor. In some machines, we are keeping the flux in a stator, whereas the conductors we are keeping in a rotor. In some machines, we are keeping the conductors in a stator, whereas the flux we are keeping on a rotor. So whenever the rotor is rotating, there is a rate of change of flux linkage will be created in the conductor. This is the main basic thing. Otherwise, there is no voltage will be induced in the conductor. There is no operation of the DC machine. Now come to the point. Stator. The part which is stationary is nothing but a stator. The part which is rotating is nothing but a rotor. There are different parts are there in DC machine. Yoke, stator frame. So another name for the yoke is the stator frame. Field system. See here the field system is consisting of three parts. One is field pole and field winding. Next, armature and armature winding, commutator, brushes, shaft, end covers, bearings and cooling fan. Now we are going to see individually each part of the DC machine. Yoke. Yoke is nothing but a outer periphery of the machine. It is a cylindrical, hollow cylindrical nature. Hollow cylindrical nature. It is giving a mechanical support to the poles. It is giving a mechanical support to the poles. It provides a mechanical protection to the machine for the inner parts of the machine. Next, it also offers a low reluctance to the flux which is creating from the field winding. What is the material we are using to manufacture this yoke means cast iron. Generally we are using cast iron. The cast iron is very cheap. Suppose if you want to design a machine at low cost, then we are going for the cast iron. Suppose if the cost is not constrained, then we are going for the steel. Field system. Already we studied about the field system. The field system is a system through which in a machine the flux is generated. through which in a machine the flux is generated. Generally it is consisting a pole core, pole shoe and field winding. See, already I have seen in the diagram pole core. The pole core is a rectangular shape on which the field winding is placed. Field winding is placed. So for the end of the pole core, pole shoe is attached. If you see the shape of the pole shoe, that is the cross section of the pole shoe is more than the pole core, because we are keeping the winding on the core which does not go and fall on the rotor, because this pole is attached to the stator. This pole is attached to the stator. So in the vertical position is there in a machine, vertically it is there. So the field winding does not go and fall on the rotor, nothing but the pole core is giving a mechanical support to the field winding. First thing. Next, if you see the shape of the pole core, it is a curved shape. Curved, why we are giving a curved shape rather than the rectangular means? To make a uniform flux distribution in the machine. Suppose here the pole core is attached to the stator. Suppose if the pole shoe is not there, the pole shoe is not there, then what happens? Whatever the flux is creating from the core, that is passes through the rotor. The shape of the rotor is the circular shape. Nothing but the air gap between the pole core and pole armature is not uniform. The flux is not distributing uniformly. So to make the flux is distributed uniformly, we are giving a curved surface to the pole shoe which is attached to the pole core. In a low machines, in a low rating of the machine, the pole core is made of the solid material, whereas the pole shoe is made of the laminations. But in large machines, both pole core and pole shoe also laminated to reduce the eddy current losses. So what is the losses occurs in a DC machine, that we are going to study in the next lecture. But here you try to remember why you are laminating means we are laminated body we are using in a machine only to reduce the eddy current losses. It is also made of the cast iron. If the cast is not constrained, then it is made of the cast iron. If the cast is constrained, then we are going for the cast steel. Already we know that the cost of the steel is more than the iron. So if you go for the steel manufacturing of the pole core and pole shoe means nothing but it is a very high cost. Next part is the armature. Armature has basically two parts. One is armature core, second one is armature winding. The armature core it is a cylindrical, solid, laminated body. See here, armature is a cylindrical, solid, laminated body. The outer periphery is slotted to house the armature conductors. See here, we are keeping the armature conductors are nothing but armature winding. We are keeping in the armature, in the slots. It is laminated body. Why you are laminating this body means to reduce the hysteresis losses. Moreover, this armature is mechanically fitted to the shaft. So whenever we are giving the mechanical input to the shaft, the armature also will be rotating. It is coming under the rotating part in a machine. It is made of the silicon steel. So why we are adding a silicon to the steel means to reduce the hysteresis losses. The hysteresis coefficient of the machine will be decreases, so that hysteresis loss will be of the machine will be decreases. It is a laminated body to reduce the eddy current losses. In the next coming classes, we are going to detail about the hysteresis and eddy current losses. Armature winding. Armature winding is nothing but it is copper wire. Nothing but coil. These coils are placed in a armature slots as shown in the figure. Armature winding is nothing but how we are going to define this armature winding means it is an electrical circuit in which the voltage is induced. The voltage is induced. That winding is nothing but a armature winding. All these windings are connected to the commutator segments. You can see the commutator segment in the figure also. The commutator segment also the cylindrical nature, solid cylindrical nature. It has a segments. Each segment is insulated from the another segment. It is made up of the hot drawn copper. It is not a simple copper, hot drawn copper, because to increase the mechanical strength for the copper. Next, the material which is used for manufacturing or winding means generally we are using the copper wire. For large rating of the machines, they are going for the, sometimes they are going for the aluminum also. Next, brushes. In the diagram we are seeing that the rotor is rotating. All the armature conductors, the rotor is rotating in the field as shown in the figure. All the armature conductors are connected to the commutator. Nothing but whatever the voltage induced in armature winding, that is coming to the commutator segments. Now, so, to make an electrical connection between the external circuit to the armature means that is happen through the brushes and commutator. So, whenever we want to make a connection between the rotating part and stationary part means definitely should go for the commutator and brushes. Where the shaft is rotating, the commutator is rotating. On the commutator, the brushes are resting. Those are stationary. So, whatever the voltage is induced in armature, that is coming to the commutator through the brushes. That voltage or current or power that goes to the external circuit. These brushes are made up of with a carbon and a shaft. Already we have seen the armature, commutator, all the things we are keeping on the shaft only. Through the shaft only, the mechanical, we can give the mechanical input or we can take the mechanical input from the machine. Its nature is rotating. Through the shaft only we can give the mechanical input as well as we can take the mechanical output from the shaft, armature, commutator, and everything is key to the nothing but mechanically supported by the shaft. You can see in the diagram also. It is made up of with a mild steel. So why we are going for the mild steel means it has a high braking strength. Braking strength means because it is giving mechanical support to the armature. It is a very heavy body. So it should have a high strength, mechanically strong. It should be mechanically strong. That's why we are going for the mild steel. The mild steel is a one which has a high mechanical braking strength. These are the different parts of a DC machine. First one is remaining parts are the housings. The end housings are nothing but these are the two covers which are attached to the two sides of the machine, to the stator. A center of the end cover, end housing or end cover. The bearings are there. In the bearings, we are inserting the shaft of a rotor so that it is giving a mechanical support to the rotor to keep in a stator. Next, bearings. When you come to the bearings, generally the rotor is rotating. Suppose if the bearings are not there, there are a lot of friction is between the rotating part as well as stationary part. So whenever we are using a bearings between the stationary part as well as rotating part, then the friction loss we can reduce in a machine. That's bearings. There are two types of bearings are there. One is roll bearings, another one is the ball bearings. Roller bearings as well as the ball bearings. You can see in the diagram also. It is made up of with a high carbon steel. This is the overall cross-sectional area of a DC machine. Just it is also we can take it as a summary. Field winding, pole core, pole shoe, and it is attached to the stator. Commutator also there, armature. The outer periphery of the armature is slotted to house the armature winding, and commutator. The commutator is a cylindrical nature. It has a segments. Each segment is insulated by the insulating material. On the commutator, brushes are there. Next, yoke. Next, base on which we are keeping the motor. Next, eye bolt also, in some machines, the eye bolt also placed on the top of the machine. That we are not showing, that eye bolt also placed. In this diagram, we are not shown the eye bolt, but generally the eye bolt is placed for the high rating of the machine to carry the machine from one place to the another place. So whatever the view we are seeing here, that is the cross-sectional view of a DC machine. Summary. In this lecture, you come to know what are the different parts of DC machine. Basically, there are two parts are there, stator as well as the rotor. In the stator frame, field system. In the field system, pole core, pole winding or field winding, and pole shoe also there. In the rotor, when you come to the rotor is a rotating part. It has armature winding, shaft, commutator. All these are coming under the rotor. Because the nature of this component is a rotating in nature. To collect the electrical power from the machine, we are keeping a brushes or nothing but resting the brushes on the commutator segment. It also provides a electrical connection between the armature to the external circuit. Next, end covers, shaft. Sometimes for large rating of the machines, we are going for the fans also. The machine is equipped with a fan. Nothing but don't think that the fan is placed externally. The wings are connected to the same shaft when the rotor is rotating. So from the wings, it is connected to the fan wings are connected to the shaft. So the rotor is rotating means the wings also will be rotating. The loss is nothing but heat. Whatever the heat is generated in a machine, that will be extracted from the machine. So end of this lecture, students will be able to understand the various parts of a DC machine. And what is the difference between the stator as well as the rotor? Here there are some of the questions are given, short questions we can answer. Where the field winding is mounted on the DC machine. What are the material used for the brushes in a DC machine? Function of a yoke to provide the path for the magnetic flux. Armature of DC motor is laminated dash. What is the reason for lamination of the armature? Thank you very much for this lecture. Here, this is the first lecture in a DC machines 1.